Welcome to 69 South, where we cuss and discuss true crime, current events, and hot topics, along with our state of society today. This is your trigger warning. Our podcast content is produced for viewers and listeners 18 years of age or older. We discuss topics that may be triggering to some listeners, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Welcome back, everybody, to 69 South. I'm your host, Chop, and always with me is my baby girl, beautiful Julie. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
This is going to be hopefully the last part of the Fortinberry Frankenstein stuff. Before we get into it real quick, though, we want to give a shout out to some people that bought some cool ass t-shirts and supported the show a little bit. So we would just want to shout out to them. Katie, John, Buck, Tiffany, Michelle, Dustin, Sheena, Jason, Laura, Connie, Barbie, Heidi, and Holly. Thank you very much for supporting the show, and I know y'all going to be looking good in them 69 South t-shirts.
So let's jump into this so we can get over it.
We want to remind everybody that this is the fourth
get it done with. Sorry.
Set of parents on this probable cause affidavit that was being interviewed by the detectives. So we're going to jump right back into it. The parent, she said she had saw stuff on Facebook about Brittany's case, and she had asked him, which would be her son, a victim, again, if he was sure that she didn't sleep with him. And he said no. She said it was a couple of weeks later, he came up to her and his father and told him that he didn't tell them something. She said he shared that he had slept with Brittany the whole time and that he had since day one. She said he talks about how they were at Brittany's one day and that a victim asked him if he could have sex with Brittany. Would he? Like, if he had a chance to do it, would he do it? And he said yes. She continued sharing that the same evening she came out in a nightgown, bent over to get something. He said that's how it all got started, and it went right on from there. She said that he told her that at least 10 other boys had slept with Brittany. She added that he shared that Brittany would get them vapes and weed and edibles. Edibles is new, I think. She said that he told her that she refused to get them alcohol. She said that he told her that it went on forever.
I wonder what that means, went on forever.
Like it just went on and on and on and on and on. I mean, it was going on for...
Like they felt trapped.
Months and months and months. At least she refused to buy this one victim alcohol. It's kind of weird. I don't know.
Now, she said that it was a couple days later that DCS had called her. She said that he shared at the time that they were high-fiving thinking this was great, but now he really thinks about it. He thinks it is wrong and that she was grooming them. After talking to her, I then spoke to the victim. Here is a summary of the interview as follows.
And I could see these young boys all thinking at the time that it was cool, you know what I mean? Like high-fiving and shit. And it's just, it's good that they all realized that what was going on was
wrong now.
Actually wrong, yeah. But at the time, I mean, I could see it. I was a teenage boy, too, one time. The victim had talked about how he had been his friend for a few months. He said that he's known the other victim for a while. He talks about going over to the other boy's actual house and referred to it as the boy's dad's house. He said that he didn't know anything about Brittany and said that his buddy referred to Brittany as his aunt. He said that the other victim asked if he wanted to stay the night one night. He said that he asked his mom and his dad, and they said it was fine. He said that Brittany also called and everything was good. He said that he and his buddy went out to Brittany's house. He said that he was playing basketball outside with his buddy, and they went inside. He said that this is the first thing that he noticed that was out of the norm, and said that Brittany had changed into a nightgown. He then says that they were sitting on the couch and Brittany bent over to get something and she didn't have any panties on and her stuff was exposed.
She's so calculated.
She had all that shit planned out from the gate. I mean, put a
Absolutely,
nightgown
she
on.
did.
Your husband's at work. Maybe he's at work. We don't know that or not. But I mean, and then you're in there bending over with your stuff hanging out and shit in front
of these young boys.
Yeah.
Disgusting. He then talks about staying over at Brittany's the next weekend. He said that his buddy asked him if he had a chance to have sex with Brittany, would he? He said that he would. He said this is where it all started. Brittany started sending him nude pictures after he went home. About a month later, it was just him and another friend hanging out. He said he and the other friend had stayed there and slept in Brittany's bed. He said that his other friend was on one side of the bed, he was in the middle, and Brittany was on the other side of the bed. Brittany had a nightgown on without any underwear on. Brittany told him that it was okay if he touched her, and he said, okay. And then he touched her. He clarified, saying that he touched Brittany's vagina with his hand, that he touched her vagina for about 5 to 10 minutes, and Brittany said, please fuck me. He said, okay, and that he was 14 at the time, and what 14-year-old was going to resist that? And so he did it. Now, while he was doing it, the other friend woke up and looked shocked. He said that he continued, and the friend went back to sleep. He finished what he was doing, and then he started talking about Brittany giving them shrooms and hitting a weed pen before they had gotten in bed. He described himself as not being fully coherent because of shrooms and the weed pen, and that after he finished, he went to use the restroom, came back in the room, and his buddy was having sex with her. He said that he just went to sleep after that.
He then talks about another incident. He said that it was just him and Brittany, but one of her sons was in the room at the end of the bed on a couch. He said that the couch pulls out into another bed. He said Brittany's son really wanted to stay in the room with them. He said he laid on the couch with Brittany's son while they watched a show, and when her son fell asleep, he got in bed with Brittany. He said that Brittany asked him to have sex with her, that he did have sex with her, and that her son was at the room at the time, the whole time they were doing it. He said this was a few weeks after the time he was there with the first other buddy that we were talking about.
Wow, and it says that the son was at the end of the bed the entire time.
I mean,
so not only was he in the room, he was right there.
And not even giving a shit if, you know what I'm saying? They already said that she was sending videos of screaming. And what if they was getting loud that her poor son may have woke up and they may not have even fucking know that he woke up. Jesus, man.
We'll be right back.
Hey, everybody, this is Chop from 69 South, man. While we're taking a little break, get up, get yourself something to drink, grab yourself a plate of food. But hey, look up shopsittatjules.com, man. Pick up one of our badass 69 South t-shirts. A portion of the proceeds goes to victims, and it helps support our show. Help keep the lights on here in the studio. We thank you all so much for listening. Everybody, just take it easy and enjoy life. That's what it's all about.
No common sense. No, there's nothing. There's like no soul left in this woman.
You know, I've been thinking.
Dead inside. You know, she had a shirt on, one of those pictures that she had it's on the Facebook.
I noticed that. I did notice that. You know,
she wasn't lying, was she?
No, and I wanted to kind of reiterate. I don't know, that's probably not the right word, but on the last episode, we were saying that she had taken these boys to a Grey Day concert. It's like Grey Day and like Suicide Boys, and I hadn't heard of them. Well, the next morning, I was so curious before I went to work. I got on my Apple Music, man, and I started checking out their music. And it's a lot of like really, really dark ass shit. A lot of it's basically
dark techno rap music.
Yeah, like killing yourself and I mean, I seen some stuff about their OD and hanging yourself. It's just a bunch of really dark shit, man. It's messed up shit.
And she's taking little boys to this concert.
Putting shrooms in their head. You know, what do you think that's doing to these poor child's brains? Their brains are developing.
It's definitely going to affect their brain development. I mean, I guess it just depends on how many times they was exposed to shrooms. And
what's really hard to believe is the lady was in the Navy and then she went to college long enough to get a master's degree. But I mean, I just trying to analyze it myself, going through all this shit and just trying to figure out her state of mind. Her mind must just be like a cyclone, and she's just like a child inside of her mind because she has no conscience or concept of what the fuck she's doing most of the time. You know what I mean?
Sociopath.
He then talks about there was other times in between the previous incidents that they would have sex with Brittany. He then talks about how Brittany had a wardrobe and how half of it was filled with dildos. He said that he and his buddy would play with Brittany with the dildos and described it as insane. That's exactly what I would say. He said this happened between the first time and he and his buddy had sex with Brittany and the time that he had sex with Brittany while her son was in the room.
He talks about babysitting Brittany's kids and how they would get rewarded and things bought for them. He talks about how he got a custom baseball mitt, 2 baseball bats, a bag, a helmet, cleats, clothes, and ordered him a bunch of other stuff. Now, at the time, he didn't think much of it, but now looking back, he feels like it was more of a bribe to do stuff. That Brittany would say things bought for him was for babysitting, but he felt like it was for him to keep his mouth shut for having sex with her. He then talks about how she gave a guy head at the Canes baseball facility for his baseball lessons. Oh my gosh. Now, he said that he did his lessons. They were about to leave, and he saw Brittany take the guy to the back. He said that Brittany told him after she gave him head and described it as sexual relations to a redacted person and said that Brittany took him to lessons after that, then talks about how Brittany went back and had sexual relations with a black dude in Bloomington for a pair of shoes for another victim. Then they went out to the car and they had just got done fucking or having sex. And he said this took place at an apartment somewhere in Bloomington. And he said there was times that Brittany has also taken another victim to the mall to buy things too. So
let me get this straight, clear this up. She wasn't just having sex with the boys. She was buying them shit to keep them shut up and basically paying them to have sex / babysit bullshit. But she was blowing dudes to pay for their baseball lessons and freaking shoes. I'm just
who's
shocked.
So she gave somebody head the Martinsville Canes baseball
facility to pay for baseball lessons for this victim that we're talking about right here. That's insane.
Boy, I bet the Martinsville Canes are going to be on fire tonight thinking, what is going on down at our facility?
Yeah, I bet you everybody's wife who been giving baseball lessons be like, what the, you know what I'm saying? Where's that money at?
Right.
Oh, man. He then talks about another time that he and his buddy was over at Brittany's, and he said that he doesn't remember exactly when this happened, but talked about there being an island in her room. He said that Brittany was on her knees in a doggy style having sex. He said that Brittany's youngest son came in, and it freaked him out, and Brittany didn't even care. He said that the boy saw them having sex.
I am so disgusted. So, not only is she doing it while they're in the room, that shouldn't even be surprising that she didn't even care because she's done it before.
I'm telling you, that's going to have a big, super bad effect
This is going to be a Netflix series.
Not
I
only
bet.
on these boys that she were doing this to, but her kids too. You know what I mean? He then talks about Brittany taking him to his favorite concert. He said Brittany took him and a couple of other boys to this concert. He said the event was called Gray Day and it was in 2023. I would also advise that I researched this event and found that it took place on September 20th, 2023. I would also advise that I had been provided a screenshot of a photo of Brittany shared on Instagram on September 21st, 2023 of a victim who I believe to be him and Brittany all together at the event. He said that Brittany had tickets to this event when he first met her and talked about being his favorite artist.
He talks about how Brittany would send him nudes on the app called Session, and that on Sessions, things instantly deleted. It took a while, but at some point, Brittany started sending him nudes on Snapchat. The nudes on Snapchat started and then went to Session because it was more secretive, and then eventually it went back and forth between the two different apps. He talks about how Brittany would send him pictures and videos. He said that Brittany would send things of her upper area, bottom area, of her playing with herself, masturbating, and he clarified that her upper area was her boobs, bottom area was her vagina and her ass, and said that when she was masturbating, she would use toys and her hand, and said that the videos were pretty much the same exact stuff.
He said that there was one time that Brittany filmed herself giving him a BJ. He said that he saw the video multiple times after she had filmed it. He thinks it was just one time she filmed herself giving him a BJ, and he said he thinks it was in Brittany's For My Eyes Only folder on Snapchat.
So she's making child porn now, too.
So who knows? There'll probably be another PCA out about that because that is literally child porn. And if she shared that with anybody, that's dissemination again.
Or exploitation, isn't it?
Yeah.
She made it and then just sent it out there. He then talks about how he and another boy were scrolling through Brittany's phone and there were nudes everywhere. He said it was hidden, that he saw the video of himself on her phone and he thinks it was hidden in her Apple or for her My Eyes Only on Snapchat, that another boy was there too, sitting on the bed. He said that he had sex with Brittany and then she gave him a blowjob after. He said that he has had sex with Brittany 10 to 15 times and said there was times when he had sex with Brittany in the garage and times that he has fingered Brittany in the kitchen.
He also talks about having sex with Brittany in the garage. He said that he and another buddy were there smoking a bowl in the garage with her. He said they turned the lights off in the garage, laid on the floor, and had sex with her. He said that he and his buddy took turns with Brittany. He said it was warmer out when this happened, and he said it was the beginning of his freshman year. He said this was the first time that he and that victim, but before the time that he had sex with her while her son was in the room. He said that time Brittany's son was there about the last time he had had sex with Brittany.
He said the most recent thing that had happened was when Brittany took her two sons and him to a water place and said that Brittany sent him nudes while they were there. These were full body nudes in the shower. He thinks Brittany had surgery on her vagina, so she couldn't send nudes like that. And Brittany lost a lot of weight, and he thinks that she got a labia reduction surgery. And at some point, she had ripped the stitching or something while she was stripping, requiring her to have surgery to fix it.
Damn.
He shared that Brittany shared the labia reduction with him and that it was in 2024 that Brittany took them to the water park. He remembers it being a little colder outside, but doesn't remember exactly when it was. He then talked about Brittany giving him and another victim capsules that had shrooms in it. He also mentioned hitting a weed pen and that he and another victim were upstairs and that Brittany came up to grab something and he asked her if they could finger her. And he said that they fingered her in the kitchen. He said it went on for about 5 to 10 minutes and that they took turns. Now, Brittany was never his teacher, but he did help her move stuff in and out of her classroom. He was pretty certain that Brittany's husband, Nick, knew what was going on and said that they weren't able to come over to the house for a while because they think Nick found out what was going on. He also mentioned that he thought Nick was turned on by what was happening and said that Brittany said something about a situation but never went into detail about anything.
He said that he was 14 during all the incidents. He also said that he had turned 15 and had some interactions with Brittany, but nothing ever happened sexually with Brittany. Maybe he was too old after he turned 15. I then went over the things that he had talked about with the victim. We revised the dildos. He said the dildos weren't realistic. He said one was a hand that was huge. The dildos ranged in sizes. They just picked a few and used them, and they worked. He said that they used them on Brittany.
Yuck.
I wonder what he means by they weren't realistic.
A whole hand. No wonder she had to have a labia reduction. She keeps shoving hands up in there.
Jesus,
That's
man.
disgusting. Oh, my God.
He said that every time that he had sex with Brittany, they were either taking shrooms, edibles, or hitting the weed pen. He clarified, saying that the only time that he didn't have any of those substances was when it was just him and Brittany. He said that it was just him. When it was just him, she never gave him those things. He and the detective talked for a few minutes, and then that interview was concluded.
On March 11th, 2025, I had the opportunity to speak with, I would say, another parent.
Parent number 5 of this PCA, for everybody that's keeping track.
Now, I would advise, okay, this is a set of parents, and here is a summary of their interview.
They were unaware of anything going on until they were contacted by DCS. The father said that he ended up asking his son about Brittany after being contacted. He said that he asked the victim if he was involved. He said that his son shared that he got a Reese cup from Brittany for sticking up for another student. He also continued saying on later that the victim had also received a pillow from Brittany. Brandon described it as a little pillow that you might get from a carnival or something.
He continued saying that the victim shared that there was some inappropriate conduct between him and Brittany. The victim was vague, but said that Brittany had sent him some pictures and a video, but didn't want to go into detail with him about it. He said that his son disclosed to him that the two had connected somehow on Snapchat. He said that his son also shared that he sent Brittany a video to Brittany, but wouldn't go into detail about that either. He said that there was no physical contact between the two, and the mother added that the victim would never even have the opportunity for alone time with the victim and Brittany due to scheduling activities. So he wasn't really around her a lot. They had just, she sent him a video and I guess vice versa. Wow.
We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, this is Chaw from 69 South. Are you ready to elevate your space with aromas that'll set the pace? Scented Jewels, Indiana's pride, with aromas you can't hide. The classic wax melts, oh so fine, then squeezable melts, the scent so divine. Dazzle your senses and level up your vibe. Scented Jewels bring an aroma to your life. We use this in our studio and our home as we have teenage boys and pets. It makes our place smell so fine. Use promo code 69South for 10% off today. Shop Scented Jewels, luxury in every way. Head on over to Shop Scented Jewels. That is www.shopscentedjewels.com and get 10% off your order today. Thank you. Then the detective had a chance to interview this specific victim, and it is as follows. He said that Brittany was a new teacher that came out of nowhere. He identifies Brittany as Mrs. Berry. He said that that was what the students referred to her as. He said that he and Miss Berry as a teacher in the second trimester. He said that Miss Berry was his math teacher. He said that was how he met her when she became his teacher. He said that the class was pretty easy, and he admitted he wasn't the greatest at math, but always had an A+ in her class. He said later on there was a rumor or an allegation that Mrs. Berry had given a student a blowjob after a basketball game. He said that Mrs. Berry told them because of this allegation she had to leave. He said that he saw Miss Berry about a month later at a basketball game. They hugged and they caught up.
He clarified, saying that Miss Berry had told the entire class that she was leaving and that the rumor was because of the allegation of oral sex. He said Miss Berry told the class that she was probably going to get fired, so she's just going to quit. Wow, she told the whole class that? Now, he said that he and others helped her take down things in her classroom prior to leaving and said that nothing happened after that with Miss Berry. He then talks about August 2024. He had just finished football practice. He and his mom stopped at a gas station to get some things. And he said that once his mom went inside, he was added on Snapchat and said the username was not Brittany and had a lemon emoji. And that he was also told about a TikTok account with the username of Dogs Go to Hell. And he also mentions an Instagram account under Stormy May and said that there were rumors that Brittany was stripping and found that to be true.
So she was a teacher at Martinsville, basically got fired from an oral sex allegation, and then she went to stripping at this point.
Yes.
He said that Brittany added him on Snapchat. She sent him a TikTok video of a Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville. He said that he has had a pair of Margaritaville Crocs, and he thinks that is why she sent it to him. He said that Brittany told him that he could unadd him if he wanted, and that she gets it, she's old. He said that he told Brittany that he wasn't worried about it. He said they then started sending snaps. He said that he asked Brittany how her new teaching job was going. He said he thinks this was an eminence, and he said that he saw a video of what he believed to be her new classroom there on TikTok.
He then talks about Brittany sharing that kids got a picture of her, and he thinks she sent it to them. They taped it up on a wall somewhere, and they had a jerk circle to it. He said he thinks Brittany said the picture was taped up in a locker room, and he told Brittany that he felt bad and that he was sorry about it.
He said they talked more and it started getting weird. He said that he told Brittany that he had a D in math and was flunking it. He said that someone was private tutoring and then it was brought up. He said that Brittany had made a comment about her being as old as his mom, and he said that he didn't care. He said that while they were talking, Brittany references a Chris Hansen kind of guy. When she came out of the shower, he was going to be waiting for her. And just to let everybody know, if you don't know who Chris Hansen is, they used to have kind of like our buddy on Epic.
Catch a Predator.
Catch a Predator, exactly.
Yes.
And they would act like they were girls, and they would have these dudes come in, and Chris Hansen would be standing there. So she knew she was going to get caught. She knew the shit was wrong.
Wow, because he would have never known that, probably.
I
at all.
No, probably not. I mean, but the show was really good. The dumbass dudes would be coming in there with bottles of liquor and weed and shit. And he'd be like, "What are you doing here?" I was just going to make sure she was okay and smoke a joint and drink this fifth after I left. Bullshit. It was pretty good. I liked watching it. Catching the bastards.
He then goes on to say that Brittany sent him pictures of her breast. He said that he reciprocated, so I guess that means he sent pictures back, right?
That's what reciprocate means.
He then says that Brittany sent him a picture of her butt and said, "This is my favorite ass pic." I then asked the victim what he meant by he reciprocated, and he said that he sent pictures to Brittany of his penis. As I am clarifying things with this victim, I asked him if Brittany asked him to send her the picture of his penis to her. He said he sent it, and she sent him back a picture of her breast.
He said that Brittany had a video of him jerking off. He said that Brittany then sent him a video of Brittany's vagina squirting. And he said, "You were always one of my favorite students." He said that Brittany was using her fingers in his video to masturbate. He talks about what he thinks to be a spiderweb tattoo on her left breast. He also mentioned that Brittany had a red tattoo on her left thigh close to her butt, and it maybe looked like a fireball.
I'm so disgusted.
He said after Brittany sent the picture or that video that he sent her another video of himself ejaculating. He said that after that, Brittany sent him a picture of herself and says, "Good boy." That could call her anything that he wanted to, not just Miss Barry. He said that the picture of her was her laying down and you could kind of see her boob. He said that he immediately after he knew that something was not right and said he started to tear up a little bit and said that he sent a message to his close friends in a group chat trying to talk about what happened. He said that he took a nap, woke up, got on Xbox, and told them what happened.
Oh, it's messing these kids up.
Yeah, I mean, it just, for a second, I mean, that's what these boys think that they want. I mean, this chick was like a she-devil. She was giving them anything they wanted. I mean, taking them to the mall, buying them Jordans, sports shit,
Grooming them.
Like the devil, 100%. It's crazy. He said that after the videos, the pictures and stuff, he told Brittany that this wasn't right and he was going to have to block her. He said that Brittany agreed with him. He talks about messaging Brittany and saying something about adding her on TikTok as well. He said Brittany told him that it's so wrong, but it feels so right. That if only he was 2 years older or if they had grown up around the same time. He said that Brittany wanted to make a plan. He said that Brittany wanted to act like someone's mom, pick him up, and act like he was going to a friend's house. He said that he never acted on it and that it was mentioned later that night.
Wow. He then talks about being a couple months into the current school year and how he and his friends were talking about making a predator catch show. He says that they probably should have went to the police sooner. He said he mentions wanting to get or check on evidence and that he went to his blocked users on Snapchat and on there it didn't say her name anymore. He said he had his friends search her name on Snapchat and they couldn't find her there. They also tried searching her on TikTok and her account wasn't there anymore. Now, they said, oh my God, she deleted all the accounts. There isn't any evidence that this happened. Now, this victim said that he thinks Brittany knew how old he was because teachers had access to their information and that Brittany also knew what grade he was in. He then talks about things he heard happened with another student. He said that he never saved the things that Brittany had sent him. He continues saying that he was scared of her because she had a military background and talks about a girl that knows Brittany who is also a student. The girl shared with him that Brittany was a stripper now and didn't want him to find out. If Brittany found she told him, she would be pissed and that she was kind of a psycho.
That's crazy. He said that Brittany shared she lost 2 organs while serving in the military and gets a check from them now. He said Brittany told her that she gets paid $60,000 a year. He clarified this conversation was in a group setting in class. He talks about a friend named, another victim's name redacted, coming to him and mentioning that someone was probably going to contact him about Brittany. He shared that his buddy told him about a time that Brittany came up to him at a gas station one time, asking him if he wanted to see some grown-ass woman titties. He said that his buddy also shared with him how he was at Brittany's house one time, and there was pictures of kids' dicks on the wall, and talking about how the dildos were there and all the sex toys were there.
What? Picture?
She had pictures of these boys' dicks on a wall. That's what the boy is saying that his buddy said. Anyway.
Oh, my God. So he then said he was aware of Brittany having a Pornhub and an OnlyFans account. He said that Brittany would make videos and pictures of the kids' dicks were in the background of the videos. Wow. He said Brittany would also pay kids between $100 and $800 to these kids for their dick pictures.
Damn, man.
He guesses these could be rumors, but that is what he has heard.
You know how kids talk, but...
Come on. She ain't got money like that. She's already spent half of it on all these other shrooms, baseball equipment.
They were growing the shroom
alcohol,
shit. She
whatever.
was getting them for free.
Oh, yeah. They're growing in the backyard. I forgot.
And the basement. He also mentioned
the basement.
He also mentioned how others were being able to see a stripper pole in the background of some of the videos. He said that he never saw any of these videos, and it was just what he was told. He said that he also heard that the money was sent through Cash App, or she just sent it to them. He said Brittany never offered him any money for the pictures.
He also talked about how people thought and knew that Brittany's husband was aware of what was going on or might have been involved. These are just things that this victim had heard. But this is the third victim that says that he knew.
He being Nick, I assume that he's talking about Nick Fortinberry knowing that the shit's going on. I asked him if Brittany ever gave him anything. He talks about the girl who was close to Miss Berry and mentioned earlier had a mental breakdown and ran out of the classroom. He said he stuck up for her because other students were making fun of her and laughing at her. He said that Brittany talked to him about it, complimented him about it, and brought him some Reese cups.
Reviewing the things that he and I had talked about, he mentions that they talked about the age of consent law and that age being 16. Brittany said with parental consent, this took place while he and Brittany were talking earlier on Snapchat, and Brittany talking about not knowing if he was serious.
So basically, that's just her little grooming shit again. There was a conversation, oh, hey, if your parents say it's cool, if you're 16, man, she was, just all grooming shit. Well, are you serious about this? You know what I mean? It basically probably, we can work something out. Mm-hmm. You need a football helmet, some Jordans, some weed. It's crazy. While talking to the victim, he mentioned that Brittany wanted him to add her son on Snapchat. He said there was rumors that Brittany had adopted her son and that she was having a relationship with him.
Oh, wait.
Brittany had adopted this must be another victim, not because the son that was referred to earlier was her actual son. Uh-huh. So there must have been rumors that Brittany had adopted one of these other victims and she was having a relationship with him. He said he was going through a Fortnite phase and thinks that this is why Brittany wanted him to add the victim on Snapchat. The victim and the detective talked for a few more minutes, and this interview was concluded. At this time, the investigation is still ongoing, and the detective is waiting to receive things back from executed search warrants. Once he receives that information back from the supplemental report will be completed.
Oh, so that tells me that this is not finished at all.
Man, I'll be glad to get over this case. I'll tell you what, when we first broke this story about the evidence and the pictures, I never would have imagined the shit that this chick was doing, man.
I wouldn't either. Remember the first messages and comments we got were like, she's being framed. This is all a lie. She's being framed.
Yeah, it was said it was revenge charges.
Oh, yeah, revenge charges. She didn't do nothing wrong.
And I have to say that for a second when we first got into this, I was thinking, there's no way, you know what I mean, that this chick started a job at Eminence School and within literally days started sending these pictures and shit. I mean, I was kind of wondering if maybe these kids didn't know some kids from Martinsville that was pissed off at a teacher and sent pictures back and forth, and it kind of maybe was some revenge bullshit. But now that all these victims have come through, I don't think any would.
It's completely an unbelievable story. Like, you walk up to her and say, "Hey, my teacher. Yeah, I'm doing her." I mean,
she's buying me and 10 other dudes Jordans. We're high-fiving, gang-banging her. I mean, it's insane. But, man, all these victims, some of these victims didn't even know each other, and they've heard of other victims that they don't even know.
And all their stories sound about, the exact same, and who's the common denominator and all of it.
And it ain't like she was a bitch teacher and they're trying to get revenge on them. She was giving them A+ and shit in school.
Oh, yeah. Why would they have been mad at her? She was giving them anything.
Hell no. They wasn't mad at her. They loved her. For a minute, you know what I mean?
They thought that she was the coolest teacher in the world.
I mean, to be that age, and especially this time and age, when you got the internet and you know all the shit that's going on, I mean, literally, that's just like they probably thought they hit a gold mine. A stripper, a teacher, good grades, weed, concerts, sports equipment, mall shoes, clothes.
Out to eat all the time.
Sushi in Indianapolis, and then blowjob in a movie. I mean, it's crazy. And it's so horrible for these. It's going to be something. But I tell you what, man, these poor victims, I feel so bad for the victims and the victims' parents. Some of them have reached out to us, man, and it is really taking a really toll, and the toll has just started, man. I hope all these victims' parents and stuff are taking the right precautions and getting their children the right counseling and getting them over this so it doesn't have long-term effects on them. I mean,
hopefully they can pull out of it, and
they
will.
I hope so, because the parents that have contacted us, man, they seem
amazing,
absolutely
yes,
amazing.
They do.
Now we know some things about Nick Fortinberry we wanted to talk about.
Yes, he was. I don't think we've talked about it on the podcast yet, but he was charged with intimidation and failure to report.
And we are assuming that the intimidation is where some of the victims came out and said that he literally told them that he would slaughter them in front of their parents if they told anybody that they were fucking his wife. And failure to report because they obviously have some information that he knew something. Now, we have been in a tussle trying to get this probable cause affidavit from Nick Fortinberry, but Julie has pulled some strings and she's going to be getting it.
Hopefully Monday morning.
As soon as we get it, we'll be more than happy to drop it for you and let you know what's going on with Mr. Fortinberry.
And then we'll also keep you updated on Brittany Fortinberry.
We hope you have enjoyed today's show. We're going to get this out to you, but we got a bunch more shit to get to, and we appreciate you listening. And until then, have a good morning, have a good evening, whatever.